We've had our share of roadblocks along the way, and that can be expected when you're flipping a house. Hi, this is Brian Crawford with Revitalize New Mexico. I'm sorry it took a little bit to get back with you here, but we missed a week of filming, and frankly, I was a little disheartened with the build. We've had our share of roadblocks along the way, and that can be expected when you're flipping a house. Originally, my goal was to do what's referred to as a lipstick flip. And essentially that means we throw in some recessed lighting, we texture the house, we paint it, and we paint the cabinets and do new flooring and that sort of thing. And it's in good shape, and you just send it. And essentially that means it's a cosmetic flip. Never intended to get into the mechanicals on this house. But as you can see, we're pretty much down to the studs everywhere. Typically, we don't get into the mechanicals on a job like this, but what drove that is, as you well know, we got into the electrical system and it was done completely wrong, and frankly, it was a safety hazard to somebody who got in here. And once we got into the electrical, we started peeling drywall off of the walls, and we realized that we probably had some termite issues. So immediately I called the folks over at Ladybugs, a local business here, and had them do a termite inspection. Unfortunately, we did have termites. Fortunately, they were isolated to a small spot behind me in the master bedroom. So we did a full treatment on the entire house. And what they do is they'll go through and they'll drill holes in the foundation, and they'll inject some termite solution in there, and that gets rid of them permanently. And then we fix the damage, of course. Once we did that, we decided to take out this wall over here in order to open up the kitchen to the living room to give it a more open concept. And as we were moving that gas line, we decided to do a pressure test because that's the right thing to do. And what we discovered is that we had a gas leak. Now, we chased that gas leak down for a few hours, the plumber did, and unfortunately it had multiple leaks. So we decided to bring in a new gas line. After bringing in a new gas line, we realized that between the plumbing and the electrical, our budget was really out of whack. So we decided to go ahead and add a bathroom to increase our ARV. Now that's after repair value. Then the project became much more extensive. Today marks day 60 of my ownership of this particular house, and I intended to be on the market by now, and my goal was to close it in about 30 days. Unfortunately, if I'm looking at the work scope that we still have to do correctly, we're probably about 6 weeks out from completion. So far, what have we done and how much money have we spent? That's always a big question with a flip. I purchased this house for $68,000. $68,000, some people would say I hit them really low. The reality of it is that I would have paid way too much had I paid anything more for this house. So I paid $68,000 for the house. So far in the electrical, we're somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000. I haven't seen the final invoices yet. So with the electrical, we're right at $75,000. We put a new roof on the house. That was $6,000, so we're at $81,000. With the plumbing, adding the bathroom, we're at $84,500. Now, that's not with the completion on that. And then we also did the framing with the lumber that we have in the framing. We're right at $86,000. We're ordering new cabinets for the house. That's going to be another $4,000. So that puts us at $90,000 plus countertops, $92,000. With the cleanup, that was $5,000. So we're at $97,000 invested so far. The new gas line, that was another $1,800. So we're right at $100,000 invested. So at the end of this project, our goal is to have 70% ARV invested in the project. So what we're looking at is we look at an after repair value, that's your ARV, and our after repair value on this house will be $170,000. We know that because of market comparables, and this is basically a new house when it's all said and done. It has LED lighting, a new electrical subpanel. Most of the electrical's brand new. The roof is new. The plumbing is primarily new. So we're gonna put this house on the market for $170,000. So now, if you take that $170,000 and subtract 30%, your numbers are, I'm trying to run the numbers in my head real quick. So your numbers are right at 51,000. So at the end of the day, we need to have about $119,000 invested in this house. Now, cost of sale is going to be about 7%. Now, I'm a real estate agent, so fortunately, I don't have the listing commission. But when we do these projects with Revitalize New Mexico, it's not fair for me to pull money out of New Mexico Dream House LLC, which is a company that has stakeholders in it. It's not fair for me to rob that one to make Revitalize New Mexico more profitable. So we actually pay the full commission out, and that goes to New Mexico Dream House LLC and is paid out in dividends. So we will have a 6% listing fee on this one. We'll have photography invested in that. New Mexico Dream House will cover that. So all in all, we're at 10%. So we need to be at $109,000 total investment to make this project work and to make it profitable. I'm not sure if we're going to get there. In all reality, we may be at about 80% after repair value when it's all said and done. There are still some question marks in terms of the budget. Drywall is going to cost us somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000 on this house. The appliances we've spent $2,000 on. So there are some expenses that aren't accounted for in that number. But for those of you who've sent me private messages, I really do appreciate it. But the reality of it is that we're doing well on this one. Nothing here was particularly surprising. Usually we assume that things are going to happen. We assume new roof, some new windows, new cabinets, some electrical work, some plumbing work. What we're typically not looking at is the extent of work that we've been through on this one. So all in all, I feel pretty good about this project. I'm not exactly excited about the fact that we're about 6 weeks behind my initial schedule. And I know that this video hasn't been in the same format as a typical video would be, but a lot of you have asked me about the budget. A lot of you have asked me about the numbers on this one. That's kind of how I evaluate a deal. And I always try to purchase a property in such a way where we're just not going to lose money, because losing money is completely counterproductive. We can't lose money on a project. So we'll make a little bit of money on this one, and I think we'll do pretty well on it. And the beauty of it is that this neighborhood is going to look a lot better because of our work here. This was definitely the ugliest house on the neighborhood, and frankly, you could smell it from the sidewalk. So I appreciate you watching my video this week. We're going to have more updates. The cool thing is that all the demolition is done, all the rough-in stuff is done, and we're going to start putting this thing together pretty soon. So by the end of next week, we'll have all new drywall, texture, and tape in this house. It's going to be really cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Like and subscribe if you like this video. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. It also helps other people see it. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.